into positions of hopelessness and helplessness. The government gives them the drugs, builds bigger prisons, passes a 3-strike law, and then wants us to sing God Bless America. No, no, no. Not God Bless America. God damn America. That's in the Bible for killing innocent people. God damn America for treating us citizens as less than human. God damn America as long as
We got like a hard out, right? We gotta go.
And Andrew's is going, and he's gonna run Popeyes. Gonna be the CEO of Popeyes.
See you did go on down to Popeyes? I don't think that's.
He pops on down to Popeyes.
Oh fuck, we're starting.
It is. The jingle goes. Love that chicken at Popeyes.
What? No, that was the right words with the wrong notes.
Wrong.
Well, I was doing my riff on it.
Wrong. Sad.
Well, you can't say the jingle goes and then do your own riff on it.
And then make up a song.
I have a different register from the one. I could try to do it, but it wouldn't be the right.
The Popeyes jingle goes pop 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 pop. It's time for some chicken in the top.
It's time for some chicken in the top.
Love that chicken at Popeyes.
They use it like, you know how like getting head is top? The chicken goes in the top.
Yeah, I know. It goes in your mouth.
Yeah, you receive top? I don't know what it would be.
No, you give top to the chicken. You're the chicken head. Remember that one?
Chicken head. Oh, but isn't that a slur?
No, it was an old-timey term for like a woman sucking a, your head bobs back and forth.
That's actually a really good one, though.
But let's return to what you just said, though. Mm-hmm. You said giving top is like eating Popeye's chicken.
Yeah, that's right.
Because you use your mouth. But you are the one using your mouth, therefore you are filleting the chicken.
Well, I'm chewing it. Yeah.
Well, you're
I stand
doing
by it.
a metaphor here. So you're like...
I'm pecking at it like a chicken.
You're giving sloppy toppy to your fucking fried chicken sandwich.
Yeah, I'm giving full brain to my 5-piece meal that I have in front of me here.
But then eating it.
This episode is presented by Popeyes.
Yeah, we're...
Go get top!
Suck it!
Has it been 50 years? That's what the soda says.
Has it been 50 years of Popeyes already?
Wow.
My God.
Since 72.
Has it been 50 years already?
That's what they tell me on your food.
Wow.
Don't look at my food. I don't want you looking at it.
Did they at one point serve king cake?
At Popeyes?
Yeah, am I remembering
What's
that?
king cake?
What's king cake?
Well, Popeyes is from New Orleans. King cake is a weird New Orleans cake that has a baby in it.
Yeah.
What?
Baby cake.
There's a baby? Like, is it a king because it's like Jesus Christ is the king of kings and he was a baby?
I don't know why they call it that. I think probably from King Louis or something, because they're all, Cajun.
Yeah, it's a weird...
So no one knows why it's called king cake.
It is purple-ish. It has like a purple tinge, right? And yellow. And then it's kind of a yellow. It's very good. I've had it. And then there's like a baby figurine that's made of...
There is a choking
metal?
hazard in every king cake.
Right.
That's really dangerous.
I'm sure people have died and they continue doing it.
There's no laws down there, though. That's actually pretty cool.
The bayou.
Is that you can go to New Orleans,
Even the cakes are deadly
The
down
law
in the
is-
bayou.
mispronounce the name of the town, New Orleans.
The law is you have to put a choking hazard in each cake so people don't eat too quickly. It's actually a safety measure if you think about it, because it's a way to have people be more cautious. Mm-hmm. People such as myself who scarf. And this is incentive for us to chew a little slower.
Okay.
It's another week of Pod Damn America with your hosts, Sloppy Toppy himself, Jake Flores.
Hello, everyone. That's my nickname this week. And the Cajun baby cake.
And the Cajun baby cake.
They call me the
himself.
Cajun baby cake.
Anders Lee.
Anders Lee. Anders Lee in this abode.
Oh, wow.
You gonna choke on it.
This is a special one. You don't always get a special one. I'm Alex Patak, producer, recording artist.
Wow, what? Fuck you.
I have a career. I'm a young and ambitious man in New York City, and I won't stop until I hit the top.
Doesn't have a Cajun bone in his body.
Not a Cajun bone in my goddamn body.
Yeah.
It's so random how.
No, he has the chicken bones in his. Well, I guess he's not eating the bones.
No, they had the bones removed. Nice try.
It is very random how
Eating chicken on the
French
podcast.
is the only European nationality that did not immigrate en masse to New York. It feels like. I guess maybe Polish. I think we had Polish people here though, because
There's
Italian.
definitely Polish people here.
Yes. Okay. Fine. There's Polish, Italian, Irish, Russian, Czechoslovakian, like every ethnicity you could imagine from Europe. Greeks. Well, a lot of Greeks in the
Is it
DC
because
area.
France was doing well in the 1800s because they had their own empire thing
Were
going?
they? I mean, they gave us the Statue of Liberty. I don't know why they did that, but
I think it was just to flex how big a woman they could make. That our women are all human sized, and they're like, "Oh, that's weird." Over in Paris, they're easily 40 to 60 feet tall. They're huge. And
Well,
they'd
some of
step
them-
on us.
Yeah.
they did come over here. They just didn't go to New York. They
No.
went to
No, they have their
New
own
England
colonies.
and Louisiana.
Canada.
The
In Canada.
artist who made the Statue of Liberty had a gigantism fetish, and he was like, this is going to own them so hard. We have giant green women that have really big feet and stuff.
He was actually trying to make a queen cake,
Yeah. It was
an
from
absurdly
Right.
big cake with the Statue of Liberty.
That's how it
inside
was
of something.
delivered.
Yeah, and then it fed New York.
Manhattan-sized cake.
Right.
Lady Liberty in the middle. God bless her.
Man.
But
Her
what
arms
if-
are open for all of our unwanted and our dirty travelers or whatever the poem is.
Yeah. But what if it had been somebody else who went to Louisiana? Like the Irish went to Louisiana instead of New York, and the French came here. That'd be-
You're counterfactualing again. I think somebody has to
All right.
intervene in this. What are we talking about this week? There's all kinds of exciting stuff happening in this crazy political world we're in right now.
Aren't we?
Yeah. And you know what? That kind of reminds me of is my male rage that I have.
I'm
yeah?
angry at the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, I think the
Oh.
Statue of Liberty's a bitch.
I'm sure it's been the object of, I'm sure they're like incels who go all the way to the Statue of Liberty just to pump their fists at it.
The Statue of Liberty's place is in the ocean.
We should tear it down next time there's like riots and stuff. You know how people tear down statues? It's
Yeah.
the biggest statue. We should get on a
Right.
boat out there.
But it's always the one that's left in the post-apocalyptic movies and
To
stuff.
remind. Well,
It's still
often it's
standing.
under sand or something.
yeah, it's like diagonal for some reason.
Right.
When the apes win, they're like, put it in the sand. This thing fucking sucks. They weren't nearly this size.
Yeah, it doesn't really make any sense. Like
Our
the,
ape women are way better than this.
the Planet of the Apes takes place at that part of New York, and it's covered in sand.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like all that stuff just happens over there in between the boroughs, like halfway to Staten Island.
Planet of the Apes is extremely flawed as a thing because it takes place like millions of years in the future. That's the whole thing. Is it's like a time traveling twist.
Right.
That's why the apes have risen up. But they've like exactly pinpointed 20th century technology and culture and just like stay there. So there's been
Flintstones.
changes to the Earth, like the Statue of Liberty is now in sand.
Yeah.
But then apes are just like, I have a Volvo that I ape drive
All my
So-
apes gone. You know where they went? The future.
to the future to take back what's theirs.
Yeah, that's why they're so bored. And they're in a yacht club. That's why they're near the Statue of Liberty. Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, okay. Board 8 Yacht Club is, yes, the bourgeoisie of Planet of the Apes.
Cryptocurrency. Just one of the many trades embarked by one Andrew Tate, a new hot young stud on the scene, red pilling 10-year-olds.
Okay, so we're talking about internet freaks this week, right?
Yes. And Mr. Taint, Alex found out he's influencing literal 10-year-olds, right?
Yeah, so I'd never heard of this guy until this week. And since, the mid-teens of 20-teens, there's always been like a guy who goes and he makes the single men upset, and then they give him money because they're so bad at women. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, there's like a new one of these guys every week. That's why I kind of was, Andrew Tate, okay.
Right.
Another one.
But I guess
is he, a
the
failed
difference in
comedian?
the formula here, so he's like a new Ben Shapiro kind of guy, and there's nothing inherently interesting about that. He had his Facebook and Instagram accounts banned yesterday because he's popular enough that it's like a public risk to promote his things now. And then we get the same argument we always have with people being like, this is censorship, and this is... Do we want these corporations banning Andrew Tate, really, at the end of the day? And we should defeat Andrew Tate in the public sphere of debate or whatever. You know, like, I don't even want to talk about that. But what's interesting is this guy is just, like, openly running scams. Like, he has a business called Hustlers Academy. I want to make sure I got this right. I believe it is Hustlers Academy.
Hustlers Academy.
Wow.
Or like Hustle Academy. Hustlers University. I'm sorry, it is not an academy.
Okay.
It is not a private school.
Is it accredited?
I gotta get on your internet here. Hustlers University, he like runs scams. So he like tells people to buy crypto, and then the reason that he's famous right now is he told all of his followers who like watch his YouTube videos and stuff that they have to start sharing his image more. So all of them at once started putting things on TikTok, which is how you are getting the red-pilled 10-year-olds. Andrew Tate is directly injecting himself into the platform for, you know, babies or whatever for TikTok.
That's the
Oh, okay.
password.
All right. That's a really good password.
I didn't want to say it on the podcast. It seemed like a
Right.
bad
If
idea.
somebody steals your internet. Don't come over to Jake's house and use his internet without asking.
It seems like
It's rude.
I doubt anyone would or could,
The
but it
flies have found me.
sounds like a bad idea.
It's I love Andrew Tate 111.
Yeah.
That's the password.
Oh, I've been radicalized. I'm a TikTok 10-year-old.
Yeah, so
I'm straight from Bob the Builder to fucking women need to be back in the kitchen. Cancel culture is a threat to our existential white children.
it's weird though. Oh, and he also calls himself the Cobra. That's another important thing you need to know about this gentleman. Is he has dubbed himself the Cobra.
What? Just like
He's a cobra of a man. He's gonna bite women.
What kind of... Okay, because there's the Puerto Rican
what I was
rattlesnake.
going to say.
Yeah. Andrew...
Something is wrong with these snakes.
Andrew Tate is British. One of
He
the
is a British.
strangest accents I've ever heard, because he's I think raised half in the States. So he would be the British British Cobra.
The British Cobra.
I don't even know if they have snakes. I guess they have snakes.
He doesn't
Although I know they're not
clarify.
in Ireland, but maybe they went to...
Well, this sounds like some shit an English guy would name himself, like, while colonizing India,
That's true.
you know?
With his kickboxing career. Yeah, he has like a half Cockney accent that drops out. So be like, the thing you got to understand, right, about bitches is they don't know how to hold money or whatever. Like it's jarring listening to him
Yeah.
talk.
This is very unnerving. Pick a side.
Pick a side. We're at war. So he's got Hustlers University. A bunch of stuff popped up. So he moved to Romania. And all of the coverage I read about him, I don't know when he did this, sometime in the last year, was like, I'm not moving to Romania because they have looser sexual assault laws. But it is also... he'll just say, like, I want to be free or whatever. Free, that's a real stretch for freedom to be like, to rape women. It's in my constitutional rights. I'm allowed to do it. And so he got raided by like the Romanian FBI after they caught wind of any of the stuff he does or says online, and then like found women trapped in his house.
Jesus, what?
So
really?
he's like one American woman, one Romanian woman, but there's no charges against him. He was also on the show Big Brother in 2016.
Yes. And he got... Yeah.
He was
go ahead.
kicked off for a video surfacing of him beating a woman with a belt that he claimed was like a sex play thing and consensual, and then the woman also made a statement that it was consensual. But the thing about him is he's a pathological liar, like, as you can tell in the foundation of Hustlers University here.
Forgot. Do you want headphones, Anders?
Sure.
And I wouldn't put it past him to, like, find and threaten this woman to back him up on it, so I don't really know about that one. But the house raid in Romania is fucking real, and also he's just, like, ruining the minds of our children, which is bad. So he's an interesting guy there. He keeps trying to fight Jake Paul, but Jake Paul doesn't know who he is. Chad Vigorous said he looks like Angry Common.
Oh.
If you want to picture what he looks like.
Interesting.
We did just watch a video where a woman he's debating. He's verbally assaulting or jousting.
She's getting
sparring.
the fangs.
Right. They're debating.
She's getting the fangs.
On a radio show or something, and she's like, "Well, I know you're a white man," and he says, "Pull up a picture of my father."
Fuck.
It's a black guy, and she's been just destroyed.
She's like, so? And he's like, yeah, you sound dumb. And she's like, so? And he's like, you judged me.
Yeah, she judged a book by its cover.
His dad, excuse me, as far as I can tell, is like a now deceased, mild-mannered African-American chess champion, like chess grandmaster. And you go to his Wikipedia page, and it's all like quotes from Andrew about like, man, my dad was so good at chess. Like, that's like what's on there. And then my favorite part at the end is like, all the players had nicknames, and we called them extraterrestrial because his play was out of this world.
Aw.
Poor guy.
What an old nerd. I mean, that kind of makes sense that his child would be a horrifying, like, rebellion in the sense of, like, he's a sweet old nerd, and then his kid's like, I'm a MMA fight Logan Paul for TikTok views.
Yeah.
Well, he lived under the oppression of the Queen his whole life. The most powerful chess piece, the Queen.
Oh, I thought you were talking about
I
the British
see.
one. Okay, no, this is all coming together. Yeah.
That's interesting, too. Also, the British Queen.
Maybe he
Queens
hates
are-
women
yeah.
because he thinks that the actual queen can move both diagonally and horizontally
All the
as
way across
far
the
as
board,
she wants.
which is kind of broken in a way.
It's just
Nerf
on
that.
one of his rant videos. Like, you'll notice our women move diagonally. If you aren't watching them closely enough, they'll just zigzag diagonally.
One thing they can't do is move like a horse. Only men can move like a horse.
That's right. The knights are all men. You never thought about it, did you?
They keep the queen in check.
His penis just looks like a rook. It's been body modded. It's looking like a castle.
I am a cobra with a castle penis. The most alpha sigma man in Europe.
You want a castle moved kind of penis because it flexes up and engages the vagina in a way that a bishop penis wouldn't do.
You don't want to be moving a diagonal in there.
Right.
Well, he doesn't.
You want the hook. Fellas, you
Spaghetti.
gotta do the hook. I'm assuming there's a sex tips part of this. I really don't want to watch any more of his videos, though, so I'm like kind of hesitant to look for it.
Yeah, so is this the new fucking dumbass that's going to be around?
This is the new dumbass. We should have a segment called The New Dumbass, because we could do this like every month, probably.
Is he a comedian? They're all comedians, right? They're all like failed
No,
comedians.
he's a kickboxer.
Okay, he's not. Is he on any of the dumb podcasts?
He's on all of the
Probably,
podcasts.
yeah.
Yeah, is he the real ass dude of the week?
He has like $30 million or something. He's like invited to all the podcasts.
I hate that this exists.
My guess it would be that he doesn't have any sex tips because I would find, and regardless of ideological perspective, but when you're a young,
Hot take coming.
when you're an incel and you're looking up how to have sex, all the instructions, no matter who you get them from, are extremely vague. They're all like, relax.
Dominate.
Yeah, it's either dominate or relax. It's not like
It's relax,
Literally-
comma, dominate. That's how you, yeah.
Relax, but dominate.
Middle
Make sure
part, question
you're
mark.
the queen in there.
You want to dominate the board. Be the queen in
Right.
this chess game.
But it's very hard to find specific instructions on where to lick, what to touch, you know.
You know this
No,
from...
there are
I know this from being an incel. I know this from being like an 18-year-old incel and trying to figure out what am I supposed to do if
Yeah.
I get in a situation.
That's funny. You ever Google something that's so like commonly known that there aren't good instructions for it on the internet?
I guess.
Is this one of those situations
Yeah.
where you're like, why hasn't anyone done a how to
Right.
take apart your kitchen sink or whatever? Does everyone already know how to do this?
Right, there should be a wiki. I mean, maybe there is now, but I mean, the closest thing was Sam Kinison had a bit about cunnilingus with, as I found out, real world experience, terrible instructions, which was to write the ABCs with your tongue.
Yeah, lick the alphabet.
That doesn't work. It's just, I mean,
I can't
maybe
believe
there's
that
somebody
doesn't
out
work.
there
No.
who it works
Anders
for.
is only having sex with women who can't read. And so the alphabet does nothing for them.
Andrew Tate
literally.
gave me that suggestion.
I forgot to mention this. The best part of the Andrew Tate research I conducted, if you type Andrew Tate into Google, the first question that pops up of the automatic generated questions that Google gives you for like fill-ins is Andrew Tate real? Which I think is just because the people looking into this are like 11 years old. They're like, this guy is too cool to exist. I don't believe he's real. He kicks people and is mean to my mom? No way.
Is this just like if you're on TikTok, you're like, and you're 11, you're just seeing like children's shit, and then this is like, you know, when you were a kid and you'd see HBO and it was like really shocking or whatever, and you're like, I found out about this crazy thing. Gotta wait till my parents fall asleep and then we can put it on the computer or whatever.
Yeah, really get into misogyny, I guess.
Wow, that
Late at
sucks.
night.
There's so much stuff like that like just because it's like kind of forbidden when you're a kid, you think it's a lot cooler than it actually is. Kinnison, case in point. I mean, that's a really fucking interesting example of like him kind of telling on himself, and like people used to do this a lot. I think before, maybe before like the internet or something, where like the way to have to eat pussy. Sorry to get this fucking gross, but is to ask the woman you're talking to communicate with you about what, because they're not all the same. Like everyone's different or whatever. So like that's like an amateurish like 14-year-old's idea of how to do that.
Yeah.
You're on a date, start running letters by your partner. She'll let you know which ones she prefers.
What do you feel about K?
V, K.
Yeah, maybe she prefers, you know, Japanese symbols.
I mean,
that seems
oh
like
my
what if we
God.
find
A lot
out
more
that it is
complicated.
actually
You'll be there
universally-
all night. There's thousands of them.
What if we find out that it is actually universally satisfying to get Andrew Tate written into your vagina?
I was
And it's
thinking-
I was hoping that isn't true.
It doesn't work until you round that last E, and then it's like, boom.
I can
magic.
pray that this is not true for the ladies.
I was thinking, you know, that is an interesting concept, like words. But what if you just like had a lot on your mind and you were just blogging down there, you know?
Right? They're probably going to put censors in, and that will be a way to make content.
They're going to put
If you, like-
censors in?
Yeah.
Who is they and what is in? Let's
Vagina
discuss.
Companies.
But the vagina companies. Vagina companies are putting sensors in.
The vagina companies.
They don't want you to
No,
get
this
in
is-
there and do
you
the
know what?
alphabet.
It's actually I'm
Spell my
being
name.
naive, because then this is going to become an Andrew Tate conspiracy theory, and it's going to say that like they're trying to read your thoughts, like girls are putting sensors in their pussies.
Girls, they're shoving it up their pussies. His voice is funny to me. I can't help it.
It's weird that his accent is not mixed homogeneously.
Yeah,
It's just like a-
They should get an editor in there. They should redo that. He should pick a side.
Yeah.
The other thing, I think the new phenomenon of the bad man of the week this time is that because he's a TikTok star, I think he's like more annoying than Ben Shapiro or Joe Rogan is in a powerful way, because he like talks with his hands and is like moving his head around and is doing that like loud talk thing people do online, and it's just really annoying to watch.
Yeah, I think he's gotten kicked in the head 7 too many times.
He's been kicked in the head
100
until
different times.
unconscious a few times.
Oh
So
yeah, that
that's
makes a lot of sense.
maybe why he's like this.
Maybe that's why he has the accent. Come to think of it.
I respect him so much now that I know he's been kicked in the head.
It is cool to be kicked in the head.
I want him to tell me how to live my life.
A victory for reaction everywhere.
Right. Well, on the other end of the spectrum, we're talking about male influencers, e-celebs,
E-celebs.
guys who command an army of passionate cult-like followers. On the other side of things, we have a gentleman who has been exposed, finally.
Taken down.
Both of these guys look like Bitmojis.
That's true. Yeah, because Andrew Tate always has the sunglasses on.
Yeah, he looks like he's
bald.
like he's a character in an ad for a cell phone game.
Right. Yeah. And Dan Price, looks like, and I say this reluctantly because I think he groomed himself to invite this comparison. That's my theory.
Okay.
He looks like Jesus.
I thought you were going to
Really?
say Andrew WK.
Different
Maybe.
flavors there.
Yeah. Man, I really hope Andrew WK doesn't turn out to be a gross guy, but
Which one? You know, there's
Right, there's
5 of
multiple.
them.
that's what I've
Right.
heard. And you think that's true?
No,
Okay.
I'm just being...
I was Andrew WK from 2015 to 2017.
Hey, you didn't know that about Alex?
Damn.
My
Well,
career's going badly.
I would not be surprised if Dan Price tries to rebrand as Andrew WK and pretend to be him. Because
Who
he's
is
in
this
hot
guy
water.
again?
So
Because you say
Go ahead.
Dan Price, and I think of Vincent Price, who is the spooky man from the 50s.
Yeah, he's Vincent Price's son.
Is that true?
No.
I don't know.
All right, not that I know of.
That's how money works in this economy. Is that you get rich and then your children do stupid things later with their money that they have.
kind of what happened here. Actually, his dad was a credit card.
Was Vincent Price?
Andrew, get me my slippers. I'm going to sleep. So I don't know much about this dude. I followed him on Twitter eventually because he had a really popular Twitter account, and I follow, not endorsement. I was just curious about what was going on with this dude. But he's like the woke CEO. Like he's like the anti-capitalist CEO. He always gets retweeted.
It's a tough position.
Saying
to
these
have.
things about how he supposedly takes these huge pay cuts and doesn't actually pay himself, the salary that a CEO would get, and so his employees are supposed to have really high wages, and he always tweets these woke
He pays
things.
his female employees the full alphabet, and they can pick what letters they like.
And he tweets just facts about labor and stuff like that, but is a CEO, so he's supposed to be this example of look, you can run a company and not take all these bonuses, all this stuff that we're asking of other CEOs and stuff. He's sort of saying on Twitter that he embodies that idea and stuff, is the idea.
He's a cool guy.
He'll use phrases like he's concerned about, and this is from a thread that is from, for the record, well over a year ago, when a lot of people have been onto this guy for a long time. But there's a thread from Immobile Cosmopolitan Rube that I retweeted again recently. It points out that Dan Price always uses terms like he's concerned about our level of capitalism, the current form of
The
capitalism.
levels are all wrong.
Shareholder-centric capitalism, 21st century capitalism, U.S. capitalism. And he says, why don't I go full capitalist? I'm not full capitalist. I'm just a little bit capitalist. I want human-centered capitalism.
Yeah, this is
I'm the kind of
bullshit.
capitalist who owns a corporation specifically.
What are you, U.S. capitalism as opposed to what? The other one?
Your European capital. I don't know. Well, it's a ruse, right?
Zealand
The
capitalism.
trick is it's a ruse.
Yeah,
Yes.
all right. He's trying to appeal to stupid people that think you can regulate capitalism and radical centrism and all that bullshit.
Right.
Oh, we should have talked about Yang. Maybe we'll get to him later.
Ooh, yeah.
I think we have time.
Well, so he was kind of he actually embraced. I think he was retweeted or something by when Bernie first started running in 2015, and was socialism was still a boogeyman, and still is, but especially back then it was holy shit. And so he was kind of desperately. And I used to find myself in this position too when I was a Naderite, and people would be like, "So what is a company or a capitalist firm that you're okay with?" And I'd be like,
seat belts.
yeah, Ben and Jerry's basically is all you got." And I'm sure
I do like Ben and Jerry's.
make great ice cream.
They
and
just put a whole
probably
candy
use some bad
bar
stuff.
in the ice cream. That's the secret of it. Is it's multiple desserts.
yeah. But he was an example. He's a useful example for sort of social democrats to be like, see, we're not against all business, but as a rule of thumb, I have reached the conclusion that just don't trust CEOs. That's just not anything you can do. There's nothing you can really do there that's going to be laudable.
Well,
at
on
the end
top
of the day
of-
if you're owning capital.
On top of, like, his points being debated, isn't the story here that he was just having an intern say woke stuff for him online and, like, not tethered in reality at all?
Yeah. Well, so okay.
Isn't it just like a lie?
So
Kind of brilliant move, honestly, on his part.
It's really smart.
We said this a long time ago when we were canvassing for Bernie. You can just lie.
You can lie all the time.
Like, I don't understand why they wouldn't.
People love
just lie.
yeah. I mean, on some level, I respect it because so he was getting sued by his brother. This is leading up to
One brother
2015.
against the next.
Yeah. And I should explain. His company's called Gravity Payments. They are a credit card processing company, and I tried to read this blog about how it's just basically a scam because there are all these hidden fees,
Right.
which on some level I do kind of respect that he's scamming like restaurants, basically.
You got to respect that.
Yeah. Although there is a possibility that he's targeting specifically like the businesses of immigrants who don't speak English as their first language.
Christ.
So
They're probably
like,
easier to scam.
yeah. But his brother, so he actually gave himself a raise a few years ago before he became a celebrity, and his brother was suing him over giving himself a raise, and then he announces that he's going to give himself a pay cut and the floor for all his employees will be $70,000 a year, and manipulates the story into this guy's getting sued by his greedy brother for giving his
brother is
employees
so
a
greedy.
living wage. Yeah.
He hates it when employees bring home the bacon.
Wait, why was his brother actually suing him?
Because he had given himself a raise, and his brother was like an investor in the company.
Oh.
Against the wish. Yeah.
He was being sued for doing cunnilingus wrong. He didn't know. He needs to watch a video on it.
You eat pussy wrong, you pay the damn price.
Yeah. Whoa.
Pay the price. I'm taking you to court.
He actually, you mentioned Andrew Yang. He introduced Andrew Yang in Seattle during his presidential campaign. He was a warm-up act for him, I
Of
guess.
course he was.
Y'all ready for math?
And he's done the circuit. He's been on Kelly Clarkson.
Man, can I just interject something for a second?
Sure.
All people I like on Twitter have been retweeting this dude for like years at this point. This was so obvious. There's no such thing as a good CEO.
Right.
You fools.
If he felt that way, he wouldn't be in that position. I feel like it's kind of the lesson.
Yeah, and it's
Because a lot of like the woke things, like the reason capitalists are greedy and stuff is because it's like how they make more money and have more power.
Yeah.
If they weren't like that, they wouldn't be a problem to begin. It's a structural problem. It's not about being a woke CEO. It's a misunderstanding of the phenomenon.
He wouldn't have the job to begin with.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The story here is supposed to be that he somehow got that job, don't pay attention to that part, and then like had like a weird come to Jesus moment where he was like,
looked in the mirror.
I
and was
gotta
like, well,
sue my brother.
Well, according to Dan Price, his origin story is he was a musician who would play shows at a coffee shop around Seattle, where he's from.
he's in a coffee shop and he's just like, she is beautiful, she is beautiful. Just throwing red paint everywhere.
It sounds like that's what he did to his ex-wife, actually.
He was the Andrew WK from 2009 to 2011.
Yeah, but he, according to him, he was like, "Oh, they're having all these problems processing the payments, and it like costs extra, and it's so inefficient. And I'm friends with this coffee shop owner. Why don't I make a business? I'm like 15. Let's do it." When really his dad just worked in the credit card industry, and that's probably how he got into it.
Yeah, it's way more direct to
Yeah.
do it that way than through your music.
Yeah.
Until your songs invent a transaction app or whatever.
Wait, wow, what is he saying happened from music to...
He has a fake story about being inspired from working at a shop when it's really his dad just worked in the credit card industry.
He would play music at a coffee shop, and they had trouble with their credit card machine, and it was inefficient, and so he came up with a system.
So he just came up with, as you do, you just think about the entire credit card system and industry as a coffee shop.
The coffee shop had
Musician
problems
guy.
with foreigners paying the correct amount of fees. And he came up with a brilliant idea.
Oh, God, I hate this guy so much.
So there's a big story in 2016 where it surfaces on Twitter and social media. This guy's employees love him so much that they bought him a blue Tesla.
Oh.
Wow. And
Blue one?
yeah. Take
That's
care of
one
your
of the-
employees, and they will take care of you.
It's one of the bluest ones.
Wait, what the? Yeah, why would they buy their boss a car?
Well, as it turns out, it was his idea.
Oh, okay.
This is from someone who worked in the marketing department, and like he basically said, "Do this and take credit for it, and it'll be a big story." And he denies that. But so the reason this guy, I guess this is a good segue here. People report some strange things working for him. He was not the guy he said he was behind the scenes. And all of a sudden, one year, a handful of employees are summoned, and this is from the New York Times article, summoned to Dan Price's house so they can watch a documentary about Anthony Weiner's political comeback.
What?
He has people over to watch Weiner.
Okay.
Yeah, I've
which is,
seen that.
It's a good movie, but just a strange thing to show to your employees.
To show you my wiener documentary.
Yeah. So apparently, while they were watching it, Mr. Price reclined in bed, healing from knee surgery, as his staff sat on the bedroom floor.
That's kind of fun.
And then he asks them, "What did you learn from this about how to drown out negative news?" So, as it turns out,
Where's this going?
Oh.
well, this has been
Wait, he was in bed and they were on the floor?
Yes.
This is weird, man.
very strange. So, this has been known for years. And this is like a lot of stories where it's an open secret. It's even reported on in many cases. There's been reportage about this guy for years about him abusing partners, romantic partners. He's abusive to his ex-wife. And then he's able to blanket it with the social media stuff very successfully. And the bubble didn't burst until like 2 days ago. And it didn't. You could post the article, share it online, and it wouldn't get traction. It really reminds me of Me Too in a way, to where a lot of this stuff was just an open secret, not even a secret. It was widely reported, but not widely enough to where public consciousness turned against these people until it was
like the Cosby tipping point.
right. Yeah, and
The
it has to
Cosby
be
tipping
codified for some reason. Until it's in the New York Times, it just doesn't count as news.
That's why they're the paper of record.
Yeah.
You gotta admit.
And similar to Andrew Cuomo, who I believe is an abuser.
Italian.
He's inappropriate
Italian
with
man.
women and serial sexual harasser and all that stuff.
Bingo
But
mamas.
there's been so many things about, so many like bad stories about his policies, the way he conducted himself interpersonally. All this stuff has been well known for years, and
His line of Spanx he's releasing doesn't fit right.
check out the bonus episode if you want to hear about Cuomo.
Cuomo bot.
Bot.
He's back.
Titan.
Yeah.
Engage tightening protocol.
But this stuff doesn't get traction
Oh,
until,
my mother make a sauce.
until the New York Times reports on it.
He's Italian.
Yeah, but so he apparently, I don't know how graphic we want to get with the details here, but he waterboarded his ex-wife.
Jesus Christ. What the fuck?
What did he suspect her of?
International terrorism?
Where was she on 9/11?
I guess, yeah, maybe he thought she was. I don't know. There's
Dude,
also
how does that happen? Do you have to like tie someone down to do that?
I mean, he just lost it. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
went sicko mode.
But I mean, yeah, no, but that's a good point. Like, you just impulsively waterboard somebody. You have to like set up an entire.
It takes a chamber.
Like a
You need to
table.
prepare a chamber. What could you do that would be bad enough someone would be like, I got to waterboard you? That's it. You've burnt the roast for the last time, and I'm waterboarding
Dude,
you
literally
now.
9/11 is the justification for doing that to someone.
The morally gray areas.
He thinks his wife did 9/11.
Domestic life, yeah.
He's just zero dark 30ing her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His wife was the woman from the Abu Ghraib pictures. He was getting her back. He's the woke CEO.
Yeah.
He's
See-
doing it for oppressed minorities and stuff.
Dude, it's all about spin. I mean, this guy's
Do
so
you
good
have
at
any more
spin.
information? I'm dying to know why he did it.
So he, I mean, it's graphic, but he basically, so that his ex-wife says he threw me to the ground and got on top of me, started punching me in the stomach and slapped me.
Jesus
I was
Christ.
afraid he's going to body slam me into the ground again or waterboard me in our upstairs bathroom like he had done before. So he did it in the bathroom, I guess. He just like got a towel and fucking
Well, he's a rich CEO. Probably has a huge bathroom.
yeah.
His house is probably... And that's why all those spooky movies take place in a big house, because it's scary being... You're very insulated from sound.
Right. There's a lot of other creepy stuff where he, so he'll like.
This guy, I mean, his...
It's too bad we already gave out our Sicko of the Week award, because I feel like these...
I mean,
You know, the other guy has also done really bad stuff, though, so I don't know.
just wait for the team up. I think they're going to band together.
We got-
'Cause he's going to have to rebrand after this.
We really got to start going through the entire outline before we give out the Sicko of the Week award. 'Cause that
I think the
was-
Sicko of the Week award will just come to you when you see it, though. It's a spiritual award. You shouldn't math it out beforehand.
This guy is...
When you see a sicko, you know it.
This guy's an extra sicko in that
He's sick.
the face that he was putting outward to the world with the social media stuff is so like smiley, friendly boss that to know this is behind it is so like just infuriating.
Right.
You know?
I mean, what if it's the opposite with Andrew Tate? What if he's actually a very sensual,
Like a really nice guy. Yeah.
gives amazing head?
When he eats Popeyes, he gives amazing head
Yeah.
to eating the chicken.
There's like a lot of weird stuff. How like he would always have like a heart monitor to monitor his own like I think blood pressure or heart rate, and to
Okay.
make sure he was not making decisions under stress.
What?
Right.
Fuck.
And then he would do it to his wife and girlfriends. He would put the heart monitor on them, and when they were in an argument, and be like, "Well, your heart rate's up, so I
I
can't
see your
trust what you're
heart has
saying."
increased.
Yeah.
Are
You're
you
being
afraid I'll
irrational.
waterboard you again?
Are you the Grinch?
Answer the question.
But a lot
Are
of the
you
stuff,
the Grinch?
so a lot of this stuff came out in 2015. This is after the big announcement about the raises for the employees.
I'm a good CEO. I support Christmas.
His talent agency dropped him. He lost a book deal.
He was on a talent agency. Like, why is the CEO on a talent
It doesn't
agency?
make any
he would
sense
he
to
would
me.
do all these interviews. He would. There's in this Bloomberg article. He was talking. He says to the reporter, "God, I really can't wait until Entrepreneurs Magazine issue with me on the cover cycles out and we get a new one because I'm so sick of walking through the airport and seeing myself." And then his team asked Bloomberg like 6 times if he was going to be on the cover for the article that they did, which ended up being not so flattering because some of these incidents come to light. And his ex-wife was going to give a TEDx talk. I don't know if the X is for.
That's when
It's for mutants.
it's when your ex girlfriend gives a TED talk about you.
But she, I believe
TEDx.
she
I am not the
recorded-
Grinch.
She recorded the TED talk, and then he gets it snuffed out. He makes sure it is not released. But
What the fuck?
there's bad news bubbling to the
damn,
surface
dude.
about this guy, but he's just able to quash it just through posting. through
People
the
were
strength
fucking
of his
retweeting
posting.
this guy like a week ago.
Yeah. Yeah, because he'll weigh in on all sorts of things, not even about, you could follow him and not even know that he's a CEO because he'll be talking about,
Is his name not the woke CEO? Or the good CEO?
what was his name on Twitter? I think it was just Dan Price. But yeah, he's,
Dan, I have never waterboarded a woman price.
so his, but a lot of these posts were not written by him. They're written by Mike Rosenberg, who was a Seattle Times reporter that resigned himself after sending sexually explicit messages to a female reporter in Brooklyn.
It's endemic.
Yeah.
His Twitter page, it says ad is Dan Price Seattle. It's bio, just trying to stand up for the underdog. 750,000 followers, and then his like photo is just this. He's on like the Today Show or Oprah or some shit, just like hugging a lady.
Kelly Clarkson show.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
By the way, how weird is it Kelly Clarkson hosts a talk show now?
By far not the weirdest thing about this story.
I
but
think it's
pretty
weird.
It's pretty weird.
This is not a picture of Kelly Clarkson.
No, I think that's one of his employees.
Oh, that's him being a fun boss, like
Yeah.
with one of his employees.
Yeah.
I brought my employee on Kelly Clarkson.
Dude, the way this guy's
Since you've been gone from the office.
he's doing
Just kidding.
sociopath like over smiley smile in all these pictures to be like, I am not a serial killer at all.
You'll never prove it. You'll never prove I've killed. Well, we got his ass.
Yeah.
And if you're retweeting Dan Price Seattle, consider that he is our Sicko of the Week. That's right. For the first week ever, we're giving out 2 Sicko of the Week awards.
Whoa, Alex. Can we do that?
I'm making a call to the shipping company right now. I'm going to get another one. We're sending it to both of them.
Damn.
They're both getting the award.
You heard it here. We do not normally do this. We do not normally run this special on Pod Damn America, but right now there are 2 Sickos of the Week, and Tanzanite diamond necklaces are 50% off.
Do not normalize this. 2 Sicko of the Week awards.
Yeah. I don't know if because there's a piece in the story that describes RAPE. I don't know if Andrew Tate has been.
Don't spell
Accused of
that
that.
into. Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, yeah.
Come on.
I like the. I like where you're going with that, but
Nope.
the listener knows what we're saying there, and
It's
we
too
have
raw
some
for
restraints.
radio. Yeah. It's a show for girls. It's a show for
But I think
children.
that would make him the real Sicko of the Week because he has actually credibly committed a bad one.
Yeah.
If you're a child and you're listening to this, go back and edit those parts.
Take those out.
The
Go take those out.
references to all the horrible sexual violence.
Put in more Grinch stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like we only just got started on the Grinch stuff. Well, you know who else is named Andrew?
The Grinch?
The Grinch, or as I call him, Andrew Yang,
Oh, yeah.
who pushes forward with his agenda to steal Christmas.
Can
with the Forward Party.
Andrew Yang stealing Christmas?
Yeah, he's
Yeah, it's too illogical
He's-
to give away gifts like that. It's against math.
he would go to Whoville and he would try to convince the Who's,
Yeah.
instead of singing and being bipartisan, that they've got to come with him on this bizarre radical centrist project that's clearly some kind of like fucking tax scam or something. What is this? What is?
Is it legally a party yet? I believe it's not, right? Because they don't actually want to open it up to the things that go with that.
It's more of a concert series at the moment, as far as I can tell.
He doesn't appear to want to like express or commit to any political stances.
It's not
or
a political
beliefs
party.
on anything. He's been making all these appearances on stupid cable news shows, and then people will ask him like, okay, we've been talking for like 25 minutes. What does your party do? Like, what does it believe? And he just keeps doing weird, like, trail off politician stuff and going like, well, what we believe in is the consensus that people believe in and the consensus.
You know
And-
what's so annoying about this is that's what Democrats do. We already have a thing that does that. You don't need to make a new one. They're committed to the same thing, which is like not being to the left of center and appealing to Republicans. That's already what the Democrat Party does.
Yeah. Man, he's so dumb, dude.
It really reminds me of
What did he do before he was running for office all the time
he was
again?
CEO.
Another
CEO you should not test preparedness.
Why didn't he just do that? This is so
He wanted
embarrassing.
to build. I mean, who knows? Maybe there's I don't want to say totally similar to Dan Price, but there may have been some scandal, financial or otherwise, with the company, and that's a great way to take the heat off is by
running
launching
for
some
president.
other project, doing some publicity stunt. But this really reminds me of
Very interesting.
Americans Elect, which was a thing, a website basically, about 10 years ago. Because even back then, people were like, the Republicans and the Democrats are both too extreme, and most people are.
This is
in
what
the
they
middle.
sound like.
Yeah. So they were trying to, for the 2012 election, field an independent presidential candidate who was going to run, sort of a Ross Perot style campaign, although even Ross Perot, I think, would be too shaky for
A
them.
Goldilocks porridge campaign.
Yeah, but they had a system set up, so whoever got a certain threshold of supporters would thereby get access to all these funds that these Wall Street people had set up, and the person who was in the lead was actually not a moderate or centrist person they were kind of gunning for. It was Rocky Anderson, who was a former mayor of Salt Lake City. He's actually a very staunch opponent of the Iraq War, who left the Democratic Party in 2011 and decided to run for president. Was in retrospect probably not a good idea, but he did that anyway.
You
And
may remember him for his successful bid running for president
he
when he became the president.
right. The real debate on the left at that point in 2012 was, do we vote for Jill Stein or Rocky Anderson?
The answer is always Jill Stein.
Right.
Jill needs your support more than ever.
Yeah, he tried to start a party out of nothing basically, and unfortunately didn't go anywhere. But the point is, he was a contender for Americans Elect, and he was in the lead, and then they just shut the whole thing down mysteriously.
What the
They were
hell?
like, well, nobody met the threshold, so we're just gonna pack this up and go home. But I think there's a chance they saw this guy getting the most momentum, and it would have been this grand irony to have all this Wall Street money.
Backing the leftmost candidate on the election. That would be pretty fun.
Right. That would have been, that I think was worth it.
And it is kind of a waste of Wall Street money any way you shake it. But
Yeah. I mean, I guess they end up saving money in the long run from not getting taxed, but
yeah, I suppose in a world where they're doing something with it. Yeah, Andrew Yang. Who's he got on his team these days?
I don't know, but he's tweeting some pretty wild shit. He tweeted this picture, and it says on the left, it says partisans, and it's a square, a
square.
line down the middle, and then on the right it says forwardists, and it's like a triangle,
Right.
like tetrahedron shape.
Like the Grindelwald triangle with the wand in it.
Yeah, basically the Harry Potter thing, and it's supposed to be this big, mind-blowing. We're different because we're a Hyundai symbol.
Oh, it looks
or
like
whatever.
the Chevron logo. Andrew Yang is trying to tell his followers that that's the ideal shape for cunnilingus.
yeah.
And I don't know if I support that.
I don't know if I support that.
I don't know if I support a party that thinks it's triangle
Actually,
when it's square.
it's probably actually better. Forward is a better direction to be moving if you are eating pussy.
Yes, forward into the pussy. Forward unto the pussy.
Not left, not right.
Forward.
Forward.
Definitely don't want to go back.
Away from it.
Well, that's
Unless-
just.
We cannot retreat
Yeah.
from the snatch. I'm trying to get that goop all over our rights.
It's all about listening, fellas or friends.
This has been
What
a very educational episode.
Yeah, sorry
is
if you're grossed out, but I don't
like
know.
what I
just
was
got
saying
off on a
earlier,
riff
there
here.
is very
If
little.
you somehow made it to this point in the podcast,
There
whatever,
is very little instructional stuff out there if you're trying to learn how to do the deed, and it's all about the sensory points. You find everybody has different ones, and you got to find them with your tongue and listen to the reaction, and then Go for that.
Absolutely.
And this is Anders' fake origin story when he's a CEO. He's just say, I noticed this problem in the world, and that's why I founded this company.
Yes.
I was playing guitar at a coffee shop, and I noticed the store owner was being eaten out wrong.
And there's no wiki how on how to
There's no
do
way to
that.
look it up. So do better.
Earlier, we were talking
kept
about
backing
sensors.
away.
If you put sensors that light up at the pleasure centers, then that could be a good.
What do you?
I
what is
don't
all
really
this idea
know what
about
that means.
installing stuff
Stop
on
installing
a human
things.
body?
You
Like,
sound like Dan Price.
Look,
right, with this heart monitor.
I'm
Oh, I
just
also
saying
have a
this is
pussy
the-
monitor.
This is the
It lights
inevitable. This is what's going to happen, whether we like it or not.
I don't
This is
think it
what's
is
gonna
going to
happen.
happen.
With the way this country's going.
All I'm saying is, I rented a video too, and that was not helpful either.
You rented a video?
You mean like a porno?
It was an instructional pornography that I watched, and it
What year was this made?
This was
Not when did you rent it? Like, I want to know, is this a
when year was it made?
1970s?
No, it was probably like 2010 that it was.
Because I
made,
feel like,
guess.
like when Sesame Street first came out, I feel like people were making like a how to eat pussy public service. Like there was in the budget for public broadcasting.
It was the letter of the day is G.
G.
It goes like this.
You see like its nasty Muppet mouth doing it.
I mean, find the G. You got to do it, right? And that's what
Find
it's
the
gonna look
G.
like. It's going to be a little G.
Okay.
Like-
Well, okay, so tell me more about this video. We're closing out here.
About the video? Oh man, it was basically just an instructional video about how to eat.
Well, was it funny? Was it like
There
what was the
a funny
announcer?
scene where they filmed a couple.
Was it a sexy
guy and a girl.
announcer?
Kind of.
Okay.
But there's a guy and a girl, and the girl
like
farted
the
on the guy while he was going down on her.
This is
In
in
the video?
instructional video?
And it was like, that's okay.
That's supposed to happen.
This can happen if you're doing it right.
If they're making a video, why do they just edit that out?
Make sure to
It
check
was,
your sensors.
It was a lighthearted moment. He was okay with it.
Yeah, you're just watching a guy doing cunnilingus, and he pulls his head out, and he's like, ha 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 ha, and he goes back in.
Yeah.
Good one.
Man, that is crazy that you can't. I mean, I don't know. I guess most people wouldn't think to just straight up Google that, but there isn't just like.
Did you also jack off to it, or did you have like a notepad out?
No, I didn't. I didn't find it. I did not find it sexy. I was purely.
I actually became
imagination
gay
at that
for
point.
5 years.
Almost. I honestly was. This is. We're getting a little too intimate here, but
You brought it up.
I did not like. I really did not like pornography. At that age.
Okay.
I watched it purely for the instruction, but I should have taken notes, and I didn't do that.
Right.
And
Because
so all I
otherwise you
remembered
can
was
lose
Sam
80
Kinison, and then I fucked it up.
Sam Kinison. Oh, yeah.
The ABCs.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
alphabet.
Which don't
Yeah.
do that.
I was like, is he in the video? Wow. Well,
And they don't teach you this in health class either, because it's
American health class is a joke.
health class
my
was
school didn't
fucked
even
up.
have one, so I had to do one at my church, and they were and it was very. It was like
The Catholic
it's-
places will lie to you.
I bet. Yeah, I bet they're awful.
I had a Catholic health teacher who just told us condoms break 90% of the time,
Jesus.
which is like either A, you fucked up a number, or just like have an incredibly powerful health teacher penis that you're using around town.
You eat a lot of.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't lying.
It's just like they break every time. It's
my
useless.
experience, yeah.
It's useless to try to stop it.
No, they interviewed one of these guys, and they asked him like, "Would you prefer your daughter, if she has premarital sex, to do it raw or with protection?" He's like, I would prefer raw because
Jesus
not that he used that word, but he would say,
I prefer my daughter get raw dogged.
because
get
I don't want to
dogged
give her
out.
the false impression of safety." Is what he said.
Oh my
Which is
God.
insane. But even at so I went to my
Unsafe
school,
at any speed. Condoms.
My school did not have a sex ed class because it was a charter school. So I had to go to a Unitarian church, and it was weird because on the one hand they'd be really positive about sexuality, like whatever you're into. If you're gay, that's totally fine.
We think that's dope.
Yeah, but then they were like, don't have sex though.
Right.
Even if you're gay. No matter what your orientation is, do not act on it. Only They were very positive on masturbating.
Really?
They were like, if you masturbate, can't get an STD, can't get pregnant, how can you beat it?
There's a whole tapestry of
You can beat it.
How can you beat
They
it?
were like, that was the joke. Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
I see.
but they
like to have
did
fun
not
here at
tell
church.
you how to give good cunnilingus, which is something young people should know.
We like to have a little fun here at the celibate no fuck school for no
for
fun.
artistic children.
Yeah, there needs to be in the future a day when, your health teacher, probably, let's be honest, it's the gym teacher that also has to teach a class for some reason because they aren't paying enough.
They're the healthiest one.
And
Just makes sense.
They come in the class and they don't separate anyone by gender because everyone, potentially could eat pussy at some point in their life.
Yeah.
You never
And-
know what kind of back alley situation you'll end up
Well,
in.
you got to learn how to receive it as well.
Do
Do you?
I think so. Well, you have
Was
to
that
learn.
in the video?
Do you?
Be prepared.
Hold on. Let's do an analogy here. Do you feel like that you had to learn how to get your dick sucked?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah.
Don't scream.
Is it-
You'll frighten them.
I mean, the only real skill going on there is maybe not like busting.
Your first
Right.
instinct is going to be to back away. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like
Relax. They are not going to eat your penis.
Subconsciously, I think that's a fear, a legitimate fear. That's where food goes.
don't worry, this is a consensual partner and not the Grinch. Trying to steal your semen Christmas.
So your gym teacher puts on like, some fucking, some
Jams.
sensual music. Yeah. And then teaches you how to eat pussy. You're a teenager and they're an adult.
Right.
And they go into great detail on how to perform oral sex.
And they tell you don't do the alphabet because that's for nerds.
Yeah. No, there's just a big sign on the chalkboard with a picture of Sam Kinnis in it. It says myth.
There's an X over it.
Yeah.
And people are like,
Do not
X.
listen to this man.
X, that's the only letter you should use.
True.
But don't do it. Unless that's where
Unless
the
that's what's
funds are.
working.
Yeah.
Unless that's what's working.
I mean, yeah, statistically, there's somebody out there that worked for,
Right.
but it's just not everyone, probably.
Or even most people.
I feel like it's a very kinetic letter to be doing over and over again. It's like you're slashing away.
Like you're, painting on a canvas. Ah!
Right, like you're Jackson Pollocking. Okay, this episode's disgusting.
Yeah, I'm so
let's
sorry.
let's leave. Does anybody have? Andrews is doing an incredible act out you can't see right now. Does anybody have a little event coming up that they'd like to share with their friends?
For how stupid and gross this episode was, we should be making bazillions of dollars on Patreon. I've seen what is playing well in comedy right now, and it's dumb shit like that, except more misogynistic.
Right.
For the love of God.
We did talk about waterboarding a woman for a long time.
Yeah, I feel kind of weird about that. I mean,
Well, it's in the news.
it was not at the expense
We
of
were
the
not,
woman.
yeah.
It was just, wow, what a fucking psycho that he did that.
Yes,
We're
we're against it.
That's my defense of that.
Don't do it. Unless
Don't do it
that's
at home.
your consensual agreed.
No, just don't even
If-
leave that one in there.
If your child is at risk, they're listening to the Andrew Tate man.
the Tate Man, the Cobra.
Tell them to listen to this instead. This is edgy. This is funny. This will freak an 11-year-old out, and make,
They are just gross enough.
yeah.
If your child is watching the Cobra, instead put on Andrew's cunnilingus tapes.
Join our Patreon, and we'll be producing Andrew's cunnilingus tapes.
Andrew's sex tips is absolutely an episode we should just for a full hour be discussing.
Yeah, it's a private podcast.
We'll give you
series.
space to prepare. Don't worry. He's making another face now. You can't even.
There's just a lot of things I want to say right now that I'm muting myself on.
All right. I'm just trying to get plugs out of people. Come on.
I don't have anything. Keep an eye on my social media. I'm at Feral Jokes on everything. I'll put some shows up soon, I think.
Keep a rockin'. I have a show to plug. We're waiting on the venue to be refurbished for paid protests, but keep your eyes open for that. I'm on Twitter at Patak Test Kitchen, PTAK Test Kitchen, and the next Game Boys Hard Drive Magazine stand-up comedy show at Caveat is going to be September 16th at 7 p.m. Go ahead and get tickets for that now. It's another hot one. The room's very blue over there. It's a blue room. You got to see it to believe how blue this room could be. Anders, do you have anything?
At Anders Lee here on Twitter. Dursley on Instagram. Check out our Patreon, where we have eps where we go
Top eps.
even further into the depths of
The depths of what?
the depths of
What did we talk about this week?
perversion. That's what we're gonna spin it as, and then people will be disappointed. To
Yeah, it's
hear
mostly deep
discussion
dives.
on San Francisco DA.
Yeah, Winston
Drama.
Churchill.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Winston Churchill's counterfactuals.
Yeah, that's an episode you can hear behind the paywall. Winston Churchill wrote a short story about the Civil War if the South had won.
That's the other one, and then it ended pretty positively in a way that was weird.
I think our bonus eps are often really good, especially because we're more relaxed. You know, the stakes are lower.
Right. It's like we've all just gotten our dicks sucked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly what having a Patreon is like.
It's pretty much exactly like that. It's like you're the Popeyes chicken.
We have merch for sale. You can buy my stupid All My Apes Gone shirts
I'm wearing one right now.
on our Big Cartel website, and also PDA shirts and stuff.
Love that content at PDA. Like Popeyes?
Yeah, this has been a
yes.
Love that content at PDA.
And go to Popeyes. They're paying us a lot of money, and we want you to go there.
This has been a Cajun Down Home podcast.
Yes, finish.
Oh, it's a rue.